I assume that you already know how to teach public speaking, but you want to know how to teach public speaking online. Well, I've discovered the best approach that'll not only allow you to teach this more effectively, but these videos that you make will automatically market themselves to those who are searching for public speaking help. In fact, the people who will be watching your videos are those who have been searching for public speaking help online, but have never actually heard of you before. Well, now they'll be learning from you. Okay, first we're going to talk strategy about teaching online. Then we're going to talk about how to start your videos and then how to keep people's attention. I'll then teach you the most efficient way to prepare your content. And then at the end of this episode, I'm going to share a strategy about how you can get found or how more people can find your videos. I make hundreds of educational videos every month on YouTube. This is my expertise, and I help lots of other educators do the same. In fact, many of them are doing extremely well financially. Several of them are making six figures every month, and we follow this exact strategy. So here's the strategy. People all around the world right now are searching for your expertise. And what we do, how we help them find you because they've never heard of you before, we make videos that answer their questions, and we put these questions on YouTube, okay? So people go and they do this search on Google or YouTube, they find your video answering their question, and they make eye contact with you as they watch that video. And they learn to like you and admire you, and they want to hire you. I've said that phrase before, it rhymes and it's kind of catchy, but think about it for a minute. You've created a 10-minute video and you put it on YouTube and it answers someone's question. They're really appreciative that you've answered their question and they see you as the expert on that topic. Now, it doesn't take much then for people to get to a point where they want to hire you. Maybe they subscribe and they watch a couple more videos, and then they've gone and checked out your website and they learn to see what you offer. This is the most important part of this video. If you really want to teach public speaking and you want potential students to find you, you've got to do keyword research before you film. No, it's really easy. There's one tool. Let me show it to you. It's called the Keyword Magic Tool. This is all you need. The website that this is on, SEMrush.com, they do have a lot of tools, but you don't need any of these other tools. I don't use any of them, and you don't need to either. Okay, so here's how you use it. Come here and type in public speaking. This will just be our first example. Once you do that, come over here and hit questions. I always turn on the questions button. And then advanced filters, I'm going to turn the minimum word count up to 8. That's just where I always like to start. All right, look at this first one. How to get over the fear of public speaking. All right, I'm going to comb through this list and see other questions that really stand out to me. How to not be nervous while public speaking. That's kind of similar, but this is on the positive. How to become more confident in public speaking. How to practice public speaking on your own. I bet you have some exercises that people can practice. You need to make an episode with that title. All right, here's another good one. How to use your voice effectively in public speaking. All right, so how many words is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 words in that phrase. And notice it gets searched 70 times per month. That's a huge number for a 9-word phrase. And we don't want numbers that are much bigger than that. Seriously, the higher the monthly search volume, the more competition these phrases will have. And if you post a video to YouTube that has high competition, it means your video is not going to be seen. Even if Steven Spielberg helps you in producing this video, no one will see it. But if you give it this title, How to Use Your Voice Effectively in Public Speaking, that 9-word phrase is so specific. And here's what happens. These 70 people, they type in that phrase, your video comes up and it's got that exact title. They're gonna be like, that's what I was searching for. Wow. And they're gonna click on it and watch it all the way to the end because this is exactly what they want. That's what they were searching for. Now, the YouTube algorithm has been watching this whole time and is pretty impressed that these people watch this video. And so YouTube's gonna remember that and start suggesting this video to more and more people who are interested in public speaking. Do you catch the magic of this tool? I mean, there's 2 benefits here. One, you're never gonna have to think of what to title your videos again. Okay, you do the keyword research first, and now you've got the list of titles of what to answer, what to talk about in these episodes. The exact title you find here, that is the title of your episode. When I do this, I typically comb through and I find 20 or 30 titles and I make a list and I'll film 20 or 30 episodes in one go. The other huge advantage is by doing this step first, you ensure that your video will get views. You post it to YouTube and it will rank instantly, and you'll start to get that trickle of traffic, and then the YouTube algorithm will then start to promote your video to more and more people. This will jumpstart your video and make sure it gets seen. Now, I just typed in public speaking, but there's lots of other things you have expertise in. So what if we typed in body language? How to tell if someone is lying body language. How important is body language in an interview? Okay, you're gonna wanna comb through this list and find the questions people are asking that relates to you and to speaking, the things that you wanna teach. This should have just opened your eyes to huge opportunity. If not, rewind and watch this part again. Now hold on just a minute. I just noticed that you haven't subscribed yet. So there's a red button. Go ahead and click that red button and subscribe to this channel. And then right next to it, there's a bell. Click that button as well. That turns on alerts so that each time I upload a new episode, you'll get an email from YouTube and you won't miss a thing. Once I have the titles selected, the list of videos that I want to film, and I'm ready to prepare the content, I use the same outline every time. This is what the outline looks like. I've got my title. I can make notes about my intro if there's anything I want to say specifically in the intro. I remind myself to give content hooks. Then I have several bullet points where I can just put the talking points of things that I want to talk about throughout the video. What I want to talk about first, second, third. I might end with a story. And then I always have a very specific call to action, whether I'm recommending the video that they should watch next or the lead magnet, the free gift that they can get by clicking the link below. Now, we already talked about your titles. Remember, this is probably an 8 or a 9 word phrase. That's what your title is. In your intro, you're basically reading the title to them and then telling them why it's important. So, hey, in this video, we're gonna talk about this long sentence. I've been doing this for years, or this is really gonna change your life, right? So something profound, something that's a why of why they need to watch this 10-minute episode. We're gonna talk about the content hooks in a minute because we need to have the content prepared first. One way that you can think about it is in time. Like, I'm gonna spend a minute here, then I'm gonna spend a minute here, I'm gonna share a story, maybe that's 2 minutes, I've got another minute here, and I've got another minute here. You'll know the time as you go along. Now, when you prepare it this way, you don't want to memorize it and on filming day try and remember all bullet points, because guess what? You can pause. I'm pausing a whole bunch while recording this video, but I know that my editors will just edit out those pauses. And what I have all my clients do is they do point number 1. They look at their notes, and then they come and they look into the camera and they deliver point number 1. They might talk for 1 minute, 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, and then they finish point number 1. Then they come back, they look at their notes. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about next. Then they come back to the camera and they deliver point number 2. They're not thinking about what point number 3 is. In fact, we want them to intentionally pause after they're done talking about point number 2. They come back to their notes, they look at point number 3 and they think, oh yeah, that's what I was going to talk about next. They look at the lens of the camera and they deliver point 3. This is the best way to prepare your content because, one, it's simple. You're not writing out a lengthy script that might take you a couple of hours to prepare for one video. Now you can just bullet point the talking points in maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and that episode is prepared. And you can take the burden off your shoulders of having to memorize all this content because you've just got memory joggers. I'm going to talk about this first, then I'm going to talk about this second. And you're going to pause between each one. When you start your episode, all you need to do is 2 things. Okay, you need to say what the video is about and then tell them why they should watch. So when you do keyword research, you find that phrase, that question that people are asking. So it's really as simple as that. If the title of my video was how to invest in real estate with no money, this is how I would start it. Welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to invest in real estate with no money. I've done it dozens of times. I figured out the best strategy that has the least risk with the highest profits, and I'm going to teach you my strategy in this episode. Or if the title of your video was how to get your kids to listen without yelling, I might say, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to get your kids to listen without yelling, because sometimes That's all we can do is just yell. And it seems to like escalate. We yell and finally they listen. Well, now I'm going to teach you how you can get them to listen the first time so you never have to get to that point. After you've done your intro and the little opener has played, your little branding piece that's 6 or 8 seconds long, then comes the content. And you want to start out your content with content hooks. So I want to demonstrate how not to do it and then a better way to do it. So on the outline here, I'm going to just demonstrate with this title, How to Get Rid of Strep Throat Without Antibiotics. Now, Doreen Spackman, she's the expert on this topic. She taught it to me. I've used the remedy many times, so I'm going to pretend that that's my expertise, okay? And here's my outline. You notice I've got 3 words or 1 word or 2 words, okay? Very simple outline. I've got 6 different points that I'm going to cover in the video. First, let me demonstrate how not to do the content hooks. All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, really you just need 3 ingredients. If you go grab some garlic, some cayenne pepper, and some raw honey, and you mix that together, you take that, it will wipe out your strep throat. I just gave away the whole episode, right? Why are people gonna need to watch longer? Or maybe they don't believe me. Maybe they think, oh, that sounds too good to be true. Let me go find a better video. Or maybe they do believe me and they go leave to see if they have those ingredients in their kitchen. Who knows, but they're certainly not gonna stick around for the full episode. So here is a second attempt, and I'm gonna set some content hooks that create curiosity. All right, as we dive into this topic of how to get rid of strep throat without antibiotics, first, we're going to talk about why not antibiotics. And there's some good reasons why you might want to consider an alternative. Then there are 3 ingredients. We're going to talk about each one and how each one is a natural antibacterial and a natural antiviral. It's amazing stuff. Then we're going to go to the kitchen. I'm going to show you how to prepare this and how to take it, dosage and whatnot. And then I'm going to wrap up with a story. My son, when he was really young, he had a high fever, he had strep throat, and we used this remedy. He also experienced a side effect that you're going to want to know about because you're probably going to experience this side effect as well. All right, let's dive in. Now let's talk about the end of the video. You want to have a call to action if you want your channel to be profitable, right? If you want to make revenue or you want to have customers or clients, you need to ask them to do something. But it's actually easier than you might think. You don't have to sell them anything at this video, which would kind of be weird when it's an educational video, right? You're giving away information for free, and then at the end you're trying to sell them something. Nope, we don't have to worry about that. Give them a free gift. Okay, so you might say something like this. Hey, now that you've learned how to do A, B, and C, I want to give you a free copy of my book. I go way more in depth on this topic, and if you click the link below and you just cover the shipping costs, I'll send you the book for free. That type of a call to action or that type of a lead magnet, the gift that you give away is called a lead magnet because it attracts leads. That can be really effective because in order for them to pay the shipping costs, they need to give you their name, their phone number, their address, their email, and they're paying a few dollars so you know that they're committed. So it's a high quality lead and you get a lot more of their contact information. As a heads up, the lead magnet that I'm going to give away to you for watching this episode is my Influencer Almanac. It's a digital piece that has a lot of valuable information in there, but there's no cost at all. You just get it for free because I don't have to ship it out to you. I can just email you the link. Another thing that I want to talk about call to action is engagement. You can ask people to do things like, hey, remember to subscribe. Did you notice how I asked you to subscribe earlier in the episode? I was over there sitting on the stairs. Most people wait to the end of the video and their call to action is that. But what that does is it tells people to leave. It says, you know what? I'm all done. You can be all done with YouTube. See you later. See you tomorrow. You actually don't want to give any signals like that. So at the end of your videos, you either have a call to action to a lead magnet where if they are going to leave, they're going to your website, or you have a call to action that leads them to the next video that you recommend that they watch. So you might say something like this. Hey, now that you've learned A, B, and C in this video, if you want to learn X, Y, and Z, go watch this video next. You can point to it, you can tell them the title of the video, but that way they're not ending their YouTube session, they're actually continuing and going and watching another video that you recommend to them. I typically will recommend that we do 5 episodes that link to a lead magnet. So the call to action is to go to a lead magnet. The other 15 would link to those 5 videos. So it'd be, hey, if you've learned A, B, and C, you need to go watch this video next to learn X, Y, and Z. And then at that video, the call to action is the lead magnet. Now that you've had a glimpse of this strategy, I want you to understand it completely. I've created another episode. It's called How to Get 1,000 Subscribers on YouTube in a Day. Go ahead and click here or up there.